And welcome to the Weird World podcast. This is actually part 2 of a two-parter on Keith Reinhard. I'm Carrie.
I'm Emma.
I'm Dean. Good pronunciation there. Good emphasis there.
Finish it. Well, because last time I thought maybe it was Reinhardt and you were just saying it weird because you do that.
Oh, okay, thanks. I think. No, actually, I don't think. No, thanks. Keith Reinhard is his name. This is part 2. Let me give you a little recap. Let's start with a recap here.
Good idea, because I've already forgotten.
Oh, that's great.
I remember every single thing you said.
Good.
I remember the story. I just don't remember where we left off.
Well, part 1, we learned that Keith Reinhard, a man from Chicago, was having a little bit of a midlife crisis, and he moved to a little town in Colorado called Silver Plume. He's going to stay away from there for 3 months, he thought, and, write a book and find himself, right? But what he found out was that the guy who had rented the shop space before him, named Tom Young, had disappeared about 9 months before. Walked up to the mountains with a dog, never seen again. He became kind of obsessed with that story of Tom Young. He started writing it into a novel, or at least kind of taking parts of the story and writing it into a novel with the phenomenal protagonist name of
Guy Gibson.
Yeah, Guy Gibson.
I'm so
That's
good.
good.
Wow.
That's good. Yeah, Carrie's like,
I have no idea.
Carrie doesn't
I don't
remember the last
remember that.
sentence. I mean, of this episode. So
We're
Carrie's like,
actually
can you
kinda-
recap again?
We're kind of worried. So
We are worried. It's a problem.
Certain things just don't stick.
That's true.
Guy Gibson didn't stick.
Okay. Do you remember that that Keith was having a hard time? Things weren't going great. The business wasn't going well there. He was trying to sell antiques and matte photographs,
Yep.
and that he was kind of having writer's block. And then, boom, in I think it's the end of July 31st, 1988, when Keith had been there about less than 2 months, they found Tom Young's body.
Yes. I do
I
recall
do.
that.
1 week later, if you recall, Keith Reinhard told some friends around town that he was going up for a hike
At 4:30 p.m.
at 4:30 p.m.
in just the schmutz on his back.
Yes, a
Jeans,
very
tennies.
the schmutz on his back.
and a flannel shirt.
Okay, the schmutz on his back it actually says jeans, tennies, and a flannel shirt. So she was saying that just to impress us
Yes.
with her memory.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that was good.
And I was also translating for the listeners
Yes, that's good. Oh,
from Emma to English.
from schmutz meaning okay,
I don't know why I said schmutz. I know
Good,
that's not
but-
the right word.
not at all.
It's
And
schmutz, right? Like just the. I've heard people. Whatever. Go on.
You're the one who wanted to be Jewish. And you can't. Wow. So she still says Chinooka. It's
No, I
embarrassing.
don't say Chinooka.
She does. She does. Was a dreidel. So Keith himself then disappeared. He did not come home, and they were looking around for him. They sent a massive search. Went out there by the state, and 4 days into that search, a plane crashed, killing one injuring a second. They called up the search. That's where we stopped, and that's pretty much that. Really, more or less, brings us into the what the hell happened here.
I thought
Yeah.
you were going to say that's actually the end of the story. We just got tired.
We just got a little tuckered, and don't know why we made this a two-parter. No. So let's start with what happened to Tom Young. That mystery predates Keith's anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's Silver Plume in 1987, as you recall, when Tom disappeared. The coroner said suicide. Remember, he was found. His body was found with a bullet hole through his skull. His skeletal remains were found with a bullet hole through the skull. I know my mom's laughing because there's a podcast we listen to. It's a good podcast, but the guy when he says skeletal, every time he says skeletal.
Skeletal.
way.
And Australian listeners, listen please, because he's Australian, the podcaster, and
Is he the super ominous guy that talks in a very, very dark voice?
Yeah.
yes,
Thank you.
And do all Australian people say
Say
skeletal
skeletal?
instead of skeletal? And I mean, it's just a,
He also
a
says
regional-
urine, which bothers
Yeah,
you a
that
lot.
can't be right instead of urine. So they found Tom's skeletal remains and his dogs, and they found bullet holes in both of the skulls of those animals. And Tom, recall, was kind of a loner. He was sort of thought of as a little bit strange. He was searching for meaning in his life, much like Keith was. So maybe he didn't find it, and it ended it on the side of a mountain. And again, that's what the coroner
Yeah.
said that it was suicide.
Is he the one that he said he was going to Europe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they found out he never bought a ticket, and he just sort of walked out of town with his dog and up the mountain. Tom had just bought the pistol that was found next to his body 4 days before he made that last walk with his dog.
Yeah.
With his dog Gus. So one of the biggest problems for the locals anyway with this scenario, the suicide scenario, is that he loved the dog. He loved Gus. He would never shoot Gus. Why would he shoot Gus? Doesn't make any sense to them.
Well,
So
it makes perfect sense.
tell us, because I think it's an easy answer.
Yeah, he thought the dog wouldn't have a happy life without him.
Yeah. He was...
He didn't want to leave the dog alone.
Yeah.
He didn't
So-
want the dog to experience the pain of being abandoned by him.
Yeah.
So
incredibly selfish, but
Yes.
completely explicable.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
sure it happens
Yeah.
routinely.
yeah.
Almost expected from, again, he's a loner. It's just him and his level mud.
Yeah.
That's the exact scenario in which you shoot your dog when you're going to shoot
I
yourself.
know there's a lot of people who are open about having suicidal thoughts, and they say what stops them is their animal, knowing their animal that they love is going to feel abandoned.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone who goes as far as to commit suicide would kill their beloved animal with them.
That's
Yeah.
I suppose, but apparently that wasn't enough. Or
Yeah,
if you believe
I
the
guess.
suicide theory, then that wasn't enough. And he had no friends in Silver Plume. Who was going to take care of Gus?
Right.
He just
Yeah.
he didn't trust anyone to take care of Gus.
Yeah.
So he thought, in his own twisted way, he thought it was best for Gus. Carrie, of course, had a theory yesterday. She posited that possibly it was a murder-suicide. Gus murdered Tom and then
Yeah.
committed suicide.
Still a
But
possibility.
it's still a possibility. We brought up the lack of opposable thumbs, but I guess you could hold the gun with one paw and the trigger with another. It's possible.
She also said possible murder.
She did do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She doesn't understand the phrase double murder.
No.
Yeah.
Murder.
That's true. Yeah.
But
Do you
I
remember those
think-
things? You probably all
No, I do remember that, but I also think that's unlikely
Okay, as long as you think it's unlikely,
since
that's
it was
good.
his gun.
Yes, not Gus's, the dog's gun. You're right. It's a good point. Gus did not buy
No,
that gun. Tom did.
murder would have to be a third person.
Yes.
A third party.
No,
That's
I-
what I'm talking about right
I know.
now.
I know.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute too, by the
Okay.
way. So, still, to me, and I think to you guys, it's not the suicide theory certainly fits, and the argument that he wouldn't have done that for Gus is not
Is silly.
very strong.
Yeah.
I get why people want to make sense of it. Like, no, I don't want to believe that this person did that. So I'm going to not let myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people just love mysteries.
Yeah.
And thank God.
Because, hey.
Because we have a podcast about that. But sometimes you do make things
Yeah.
mysterious that aren't.
Well, because why would a father commit suicide somewhere where he knows his wife or child is going to find his body in a horrible state? If you love your wife and child, you would never do that to them.
Okay.
But they do it all the time.
They
Same
do.
thing.
Unsolved Mysteries, the TV show, the old school Unsolved Mysteries, when they had Robert Stack as the host. I don't know why I said.
That's not how he talked.
No, it's not. He's not that bad from how he talked. I'm Robert Stack, and this is Unsolved Mysteries. No, I have no idea. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. I'm surprised you remember even being alive. It was in the 80s and the 90s, right?
We watched it all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
But
You don't remember
you can't possibly
yesterday.
remember it because
Oh,
you
I
don't remember things
remember
that-
the 80s better than I
Oh.
remember yesterday.
Okay, well, that's a sign, but okay.
Yeah, it's a sign of getting old.
Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries investigated this case back, I think 1990, they aired it. And they claimed there that the bullets in Tom's gun, I'm sorry, yeah, the bullets that were found in Tom and Gus's skulls, I guess, did not match the ballistics of his Smith & Wesson 38 that he had bought and was found next to him. They said
Really?
that they didn't match. That's not entirely true. In fact, it's not true. Everything I've read says not that they tested the ballistics and found they didn't match, is that they did not
Right.
test the ballistics for gun at all. So if you want to say, and the bullets didn't match, well, you can say that only in the sense that you didn't test it.
Right.
So no, that's I don't know. I haven't seen that episode. I don't remember that episode. I didn't go and watch it. I have no idea what episode it was. The
Yeah.
episode on Keith Reinhard, but that's misleading at best. So
Yeah.
if you want to accuse we talked about yesterday, were they lazy? Were they cheap to not have run the ballistics, or were they just assuming this looks like a suicide? That's the guns right there. Let's go.
That's
Let's move
what I
on.
think.
I think so
I
too.
agree.
So the Unsolved Mysteries mystery doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They're making it more mysterious than it
yes.
probably is.
I think so too. So let's leave that Tom for a moment and let's move on to Keith, the more mysterious, I think, mystery here by far. What happened to Keith Reinhard? There are plenty of theories here, lots of theories here. The most simple one is obvious that he just got lost and he died of exposure or dehydration.
But did he do it on purpose?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So let's save that for just a second.
Okie dokes.
It gets cold, though, up in the mountains. We know he didn't have the proper gear or
He
clothes.
only had the schmutz.
He had all he had was some schmutz and a can of Coke. That's not enough. He wasn't dressed, et cetera, et cetera. Once lost in the dark of night, you don't know what you want. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. There's a more recent show on Travel Channel called Lost in the Wild with these two people. I don't know. One's a journalist, air quotes, and one is I don't know what he is, to be honest. I think he's a documentary filmmaker, and they investigate these weird things that happen. People getting lost in the wild, and one of the episodes is on Keith Reinhard, and they did too. There's a sequence in there where they are walking up the mountain trying to kind of mimic what he did, and they start out about the same time that he started out, and it gets dark and it's pitch black. It's about the same time of year as in the summer, and it's very dark, very dangerous, very steep slope. We talked about earlier about the rescue person said they had 60-degree slopes up there. It's really steep. It's not just an easy
Yeah.
hike.
Yeah.
It's not mountain climbing. You don't have to have special gear. But it's that netherworld in between a hike and mountain climbing where it's very steep slopes.
Yeah, when you said that yesterday, I was like, God.
Yeah,
damn.
you can slip and fall very easily.
Yeah.
And in the day, let alone at night.
Yeah.
And it's very, very dark. You can't see a thing in there. So the obvious thing, he got lost. He died of dehydration or exposure. The end. And we just didn't find his body. We'll talk about the body in a second as well.
Are there
What happened to the body?
wild, like scary, wild, dangerous animals? We'll get to that?
We'll get that
Okay.
actually right now.
Okay.
So maybe he was attacked by a bear,
bear,
or more likely,
A cougar.
a cougar.
I was just demonstrating my memory.
Good one. Carrie remembers bears and cougars. And that's not from The Wizard of Oz.
Bears are.
Some people call them mountain lions, so she
Okay.
thought maybe, okay. No scarecrows, though. Not in this part of the country.
No
Tin men?
tigers either.
No tin men that I know of. Probably woodsmen.
Flying monkeys.
Yes, there are flying monkeys
Yeah.
up here in Colorado, yes. I mean, during certain seasons, because they migrate. So one high school student, I read this in one story, and I got the sense it didn't happen super long before Keith Reinhard disappeared, but a high school student had gone jogging behind the high school campus, so not far out of town, and disappeared, didn't come home. They searched for him. They found his body 2 days later, horribly mauled.
Oh.
So they hunted a cougar, shot the cougar, found his heart in the stomach of the cougar.
What?
So he was killed and eaten, and partially eaten by a
Is that
cougar.
believable?
They probably found other parts of his body, but sure.
Huh.
I don't see why not. I mean, they're gonna prey on it. Maybe that was exact. But they found body parts. The thing I read said that they found his heart in its stomach, but. Cougar attacks are really, really rare, but they're not unheard of, and they do happen occasionally in Colorado, and that could certainly at least partially explain the lack of a body from Keith, because it could have been partially preyed on by the cougar and then scavenged
Right.
beyond the ability to find it.
Yeah.
So
Did you know that there's some villages up very, very north, close to the North Pole, that they have to always carry a rifle with them because they will come across polar bears.
Polar bears
Yes.
routinely.
They always have to carry a gun
Yeah.
with them.
Santa Claus. He has killed many polar bears in his days.
Yep. His suit is actually made of polar bear.
Oh, is it really? I did not know that, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things will eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polar bears are
They're-
the one bear that will very much hunt and eat humans for
Yes.
predation. Almost all bear attacks are spur of the moment or protective or defensive or surprise, something
Even
like that.
grizzlies?
Yeah, grizzlies too. Most grizzly attacks, they think, I mean, not everyone, but most grizzly attacks have been
Provoked.
not provoked, but it's just like you got in between it and its cubs or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with them.
Scary.
Polar bears, no. They see you, they'll hunt you and eat you.
Yes.
Because you are delicious. And they are 100% carnivorous. Most bears, actually, majority of their diet is not meat.
Yeah.
Up here would have been just black bears, too. There's no grizzly in Colorado.
Right.
So Keith may have met with an accident. So it's not just got lost, but and wandered around until he died, or not attacked by a cougar, but maybe he stumbled and
Yeah.
he fell and he died. There are cliffs, as I mentioned. There are steep slopes. There's a lot of like kind of slippery shale too that you could have just, once it starts, you just got knocked around, knocked unconscious, or and then died, or flat out fell down a cliff and died. Especially because remember, he's hiking at night.
Yeah.
Easily, just one wrong step, you wouldn't even see it. So again, though, what we have of all of these is that it's odd that no remains whatsoever were discovered. I mean, they did an extensive search. Yeah, it was like the quote needle in a haystack, but still,
Yeah.
a lot of people on that mountain, and have been a lot of people since.
Yeah.
And they found him. They found Tom Young and his dog. They found nothing of Keith Reinhard, no sign whatsoever, still to this day.
Yeah.
2020, almost 2021. By the time you listen to this, probably 2021.
Yeah.
So Tom Young's body wasn't on any trail. And if it was scavenged by animals,
You mean Keith Reinhard?
I'm sorry, Keith's. I'm sorry. No, I meant to say is Tom Young, as an example, his body was found, and it wasn't like he was on the trail. He was in the middle of nowhere too, quote unquote, and they still found him. Just incredible coincidence they found him, maybe. Incredible luck they found Tom, maybe, and they just haven't had that luck yet with finding Keith's remains.
Yeah.
So, but this really is where the mine shafts come in to play.
Mine
Oh.
shafts. Oh yeah.
Remember, this is silver country.
Yes, true.
Hoping for gold,
I
got
forgot
silver,
that.
dug it all over the mountain. There are tons of mine shafts all over those hills. Some are really just like big holes puncturing the ground. Just a open hole in the ground.
Jesus.
They don't cover it up with anything?
No, not at all. And it might be, okay, again, that show that was on, that Travel Lost in the Wild show, they went down. The documentary guy, he went down one of them. It was probably a, I don't know, 10, 12, maybe 15-foot wide hole,
you could
and just
not-
went straight down.
You could not pay me enough money to go down.
Well, he had
mine
gear.
shaft.
He had gear. He
You
did
could not pay
climbing
me
gear.
enough money or give me enough gear. To
Never
go
in a
down.
How about a
million
GoPro? He
years.
also had a GoPro. No,
Nope.
not for the GoPro.
Nope.
He did go down, and he was kind of digging around, hoping to find Keith's body. And he didn't in this mine shaft, but there are lots and lots and lots of other mine shafts. But it showed, one thing is very clear: if you do fall down one, you're not getting out.
Yeah.
So he could have fallen down that mine shaft, and it's got loose rocks. He could even have fallen into one and then never seen again, because essentially the act of him falling could have pulled some of the rocks down over his body, and then more could just fall down over the next short time
Yeah.
and bury his body at the bottom with rocks, with big rocks in the bottom of a mine shaft. No way. You're never
Yeah.
going to find that
you're
body.
dead.
Not only dead, but you're not going to find his body. If this is so, then this is one of the stupidest accidents ever, because the problem with all of these theories I've said so far is what you brought up. What the hell was he doing out on that mountain at that time of day in
Right.
the first place? So these possibilities that we've talked about might explain how he died, but they don't explain why he put himself in a position to die
Right.
that he clearly did.
Because that's a terrible way to commit suicide if that's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
And it was just, if it was an accident, it's a completely avoidable bout of recklessness that
Right.
defies any obvious explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, so I'm going to go up there and die of thirst or exposure. I'm going to freeze
Yeah.
to death or die of thirst up, and I'm just going to walk until I die.
Or possibly get attacked by an animal.
Do we know that he didn't have a gun?
no one, I've never heard of him having a gun or any record of him having a gun. Presumably they would have checked records and seen
Yeah.
it, like Tom Young. They knew he bought a gun 4 days
Yeah.
before he disappeared. So, but what that does bring up, though, is maybe it was a quote-unquote normal suicide, that it was just, he went up to kill himself, but it's a sheer accident that his body has never been found.
I have a theory.
Or he just jumped into a shaft. Go ahead.
He took a pocket full of pills with his Diet Coke or his Coke.
Okay, so he went
That's
and
not a
laid down
bad one.
somewhere, or jumped into a mine shaft, or crawled down a mine shaft and took the pills and died,
Yeah.
or killed himself by jumping into a mine shaft. Those latter two would explain why his body has never been found, as opposed to just, I'm going to go up there,
And see what happens.
I'm going to kill myself. If I make it, I don't care if I die.
Right.
And the not care now, it would have to be willful suicide, because
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
You had a hard time in the broad daylight with equipment. I mean, with water and
Right.
such. So it seems like it would have to be intentional suicide if he did do that. The argument against this, of course, is the obvious one from the family. Every time there's like we, you know, 40 hours of mystery or whatever, and the police think it's suicide, the family inevitably says, "Oh no."
Yeah.
They would never do that. His wife Carolyn said, "Quote: I don't think that Keith would be the type of person to walk away from his whole entire life and leave it behind him."
What?
She said
Really?
without
Carolyn?
irony.
He did that.
Give her a minute. He loved the people in his life. He loved keeping in touch with them, and I don't think he could have left them all behind him. Quote, end quote. Now, I know you're down on Keith because he left his wife to go have, but remember, it was a 3-month sabbatical. He was either going to make a successful go over there or come back to his sports writing job in 3 months. They weren't getting a divorce, anything like that. He didn't abandon them forever. He left them for 3 months, hoping to bring her with him as soon as he could. So she's convinced, and the whole family is convinced that he would never have committed suicide. I think I've read some of those from his friends there too, like Ted Parker, who said completely again. He was happy every day. I know some people can pretend to be happy, but he gave no outward indication that he was suicidal.
How recent was Carolyn's last conversation with him?
Before he disappeared, I don't have any idea.
Yeah. I mean, had they been talking regularly?
I'm sure they had.
And
Yeah, they had.
making plans? I mean,
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't get
You didn't call
a search warrant for their phone calls. Unfortunately,
get her on
On the line.
Get Caroline on the line. Okay.
You know, unless they recorded their phone calls, I don't think a search warrant would have done you any good there.
That's what I was
Detective
thinking.
deed.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly. That's why I didn't bother to get a search warrant because they probably didn't record it. I mean, maybe, but probably not. So, but it's nice of you to ask how many conversations they had beforehand, because that's something I would know. She's just trying to make me look bad.
No, you clearly have quotes from Carolyn, so
Yes.
maybe she mentioned it.
I was
Maybe
hoping.
she said, I just talked to him last Tuesday, and he
She
seemed
didn't.
fine.
Nothing I read anyway says that, but they were in communication. Yes.
How long had he been there by the time this happened?
Oh, this is be about 2 months.
Okay.
Because it was early first week of June. This is the August 7th or 8th when he went for his last.
Did Carolyn ever go for a visit or anything?
No,
or was she
not that
just
I
waiting
don't
to
think
see?
so. Yeah, waiting for his antique business to
Yeah.
fail and to come back
Yeah.
and say, "Okay, you got out of your system now, Keith."
That's
He
probably
would
exactly
say,
what you expected.
"You know what? I don't think I do.
I'm gonna go die.
I'm going to West Virginia." So, like we said, though, you just don't know what's going on behind the dark waters of the mind there.
That is
and
true.
He could have been suicidal and no one knew about it. One of the last things he wrote was this passage from the narrator of his novel, quote, "Once you know death, once you've accepted it, the fear is gone. All that remains is the anticipation." I don't want to read too much because it's fiction. He was writing a piece, and that's just, I don't know if that was a character speaking or just sort of the third person omniscient narrator. But, that is, he was getting a little bit metaphysical there at the end. So it's possible. The suicide angle is certainly not something anyone can rule out.
Right.
For sure. The next big mystery, I mean, you stop and think, if Keith had not done this the way he did this, would we still be talking about it? Probably, because it's I mean, no, say this had happened, he had disappeared after he left at 9 a.m. with plenty of water and a bunch of Nature Valley granola bars, sponsors. Would it be as mysterious?
No.
A big part of the mystery is, what was he thinking? What was he
Yeah.
doing? It negates these obvious explanations. But another big mystery here is this insane coincidence of Keith's disappearance 9 months after the person who had rented that same space did the same thing and disappeared also. So lots of people have said, were they related?
The two cases?
The two cases,
Okay.
exactly. The two disappearances, yeah. And we know Tom was found eventually, but...
We know this is like an old town, right? From
Yes.
back in the
from the
silver mining
1870s,
days.
something like that, yeah.
Perhaps their little shop is haunted.
Ooh, haunted. I was not
Yes.
going to go there, but go on.
And
Ghostesses.
they got a little bit influenced by a malevolent ghost.
An
Ooh, like The Shining.
horror type of vibe.
Exactly.
More of a Shining thing, right?
More
Because
of
The
a Shining
Shining...
thing.
I haven't seen that movie.
Well, The Shining, actually, the movie with Jack... I've said this before. I'll say it again, goddammit. The Jack Nicholson version of the movie, Jack Nicholson, one of the greatest actors of all time,
He was good.
is terrible for that role.
Really?
Because Jack Nicholson is a little
he
crazy.
looks crazy.
He
Yeah.
looks a little crazy already. You can see him murdering Shelley Duvall with an axe.
Yeah.
We all could. We all could.
Just at first glance.
It should have been Ron Howard. Okay, maybe not exactly him, but someone very innocent and very
God.
just like,
Who's the name?
that's not someone who'd murdered someone with an axe.
The guy from Jaws.
Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes. I don't know why that popped into my head. He's nice.
He was already an abusive alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic. I don't think he was abusive.
Yeah,
was
remember
he? Was
he
he
broke
really?
Danny's arm.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know if that
Okay.
was in the book, though.
I don't know if that was in the book
It
either.
might not have been in the book.
I don't think it was because he might have been alcoholic, but not. He wasn't abusive.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is that he's possessed. It's
Right.
the home that possesses you. So maybe that shop space, that retail space, there's some evil demonic thing there.
Yeah.
Let's get the Warrens, and so we can trap them and then arrest them
Justice
for being
for
awful.
Shelley Duvall, though.
But yes, it
Justice
very
for
much
her.
was. Yes. So okay, I like that theory.
Thank
I like
you.
that
Yeah.
theory.
I can vibe with that one for
Yeah,
sure.
me too. Me too. But a lot of folks have thought this is not a coincidence. At least they can't get past this amazing coincidence. They haven't looked up what the word coincidence means.
Yeah.
But the sharing of the same retail space is kind of odd. So was there something in that shop next to the KP Cafe that they both found, perhaps? Some hidden secret that both men stumbled upon and it cost them their lives, or at least led them to do something dangerous or somewhere dangerous?
A scavenger hunt.
Some kind of a treasure map, kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you would gear up and go at a reasonable hour.
one would think. Yeah. Also, would Tom leave behind the treasure map for Keith to then find it 9 or 10 months later?
No,
Right.
he would have
Probably
taken
not.
it with
He
him.
would
Yeah.
have taken it with him. It was anything like that. Or is it some secret buried in the old books? Because the old books, I think, were still there that Tom left. That's the impression I got anyway. Did he find something in an old book that was valuable somehow? Or maybe like an old mine or something? Not a treasure map, but an old assaying book or something indicated where there was some huge silver mine. And same argument, though, is that
Yeah.
Tom would have
Yeah,
probably
taken it.
hidden that somewhere, you'd think, and Keith certainly wouldn't have gone doing this with a can of
And
Coke
then-
at
No.
4:30.
Tom killing himself and his dog kind of doesn't match up with that super well.
That would be somebody murdered him because
Yes,
they
exactly.
knew about it and wanted it for themselves.
I see.
This is it's an intriguing enough angle that it's worth pondering, but there are some very quick holes. But
Yeah.
yes, as Carrie said, that would be then it would be murder. It'd be murder of Tom and Gus back then because they knew what someone didn't want them to know, and it would be murder of Keith when he found out the same thing.
Yeah.
So is there something that ties them together through that shop that they both rented?
Yeah.
And
hey,
is that not a
okay,
coincidence?
I got it.
What?
We're tying shit together.
Yep, it happened
Go.
to Tom.
Yeah.
So they killed him. Somebody
Yes.
killed him
In the town.
and they got the treasure map or whatever. And then somehow Keith figured it out. He figured out who likely
Oh, I see.
killed Tom, and he just had to check one more thing or something, or he confronted them and they said, "Meet me here at this time," and then he got killed.
Yeah.
I think it's
That's
a big
intriguing.
town conspiracy.
No, I don't think
And
it's a
maybe
big
that's
town
why the
conspiracy.
sheriff didn't do ballistics.
No, but the
Why
ballistics
not?
was for Tom, and it totally it
yeah.
makes sense to me that they didn't ballistics. We found the gun right next to him. It's his gun. He's got a bullet in his head.
How
Come on.
Oh, I got
convenient.
another one. I got
Ooh, what's another?
good
Wait,
one.
wait, hold on. Write that down if you have to. But I want to explore that again because that's a good one. So, because you know
It
what,
is a good-
I thought
I'm good at
Remember,
this.
he told Ted Parker, "Hey, I'm gonna be back by 10 o'clock. If I'm not, send the rescue team out for me," because he was meeting someone up in the mountain
Yes.
there. He wasn't really gonna climb all the way to the mountain. That's craze.
Yeah.
I just made that up. It's my new word, craze.
Okay.
And cray, it's played out. It's craze.
So played out.
So he met that person somewhere on the mountain and thought, I better tell Ted and tell a lot of people in town where I'm going in case, but
Yeah.
no one ever connected him to this suspicious person who murdered him. Okay, go ahead.
Everybody in town is a ghost.
Okay.
Or maybe, no, they're
Okay.
not ghosts. They are the original inhabitants of the town.
So ghosts.
From the 1800s, no.
Or it's like all
They
stuck
don't
in time.
age. Yes, they're stuck in time.
That's a good one.
And when newcomers come, after they've been there for a while, they're going to start to realize
Yeah.
these people don't age.
It's been almost 2 months. These people aren't aging. That's crazy. I better look into that.
Nobody
Sure,
comes in,
sure.
they don't like outsiders coming
No,
in.
they don't. They don't.
They act all nice to him. And somehow, because Keith knows Ted Parker, somehow Ted Parker is an exception.
Okay.
For some reason, they allow Ted Parker. Maybe
He's been there a very long time.
He's a descendant, maybe.
Maybe.
Of somebody.
Yes. Even though he and Keith grew up together in the Chicago area, that's fine. Let's go with the descendant.
You
Yeah.
can still be a descendant.
Sure.
Of
Sure. You're
course
right.
you can.
You're right.
Someone's
You're right.
fucking nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Was that language really necessary? I don't think so. So, yeah, I like both of those.
I like that one a lot more.
They're both
That
super
one's so
realistic
cool.
and rational.
The first one's very realistic.
Yeah, it
What are you
is,
talking
actually.
Is there
This
a
person's
movie
good.
like that? We should write that
I
script.
like
I think
that.
Dean Koontz may have written that.
I like it.
No, that's not Dean Koontz.
It sounds like a Goosebumps.
It does.
Another theory, though, is that Tom, they're still connected. Tom and Keith are connected, but connected in a different way. So what if Tom had bought that pistol he bought 4 days before he disappeared, not for self-harm, but for protection? So Tom was afraid of somebody. Here's the theory. And this theory comes from that Lost in the Wild episode.
Okay.
And I was laughing out loud for much of this. But Tom Young had experience, allegedly, as a medic and a nuclear specialist when in the Army.
What?
I don't know what that he never explain. He had experience with nuclear stuff. Yeah. Did he? Okay. I'll take your word for it or not.
my God.
Information, though, is far thinner for Tom Young than it is for Keith Reinhard. So I've not been able to verify if that's true from other than that one source.
Okay.
Tom, according to this source, also had been stationed in West Germany. Keith, this same show, said had been in the Army and also was allegedly stationed in West Germany for a time. Coincidence? Question mark, question mark, question mark. To which the obvious answer is yes, of course it is. There are thousands and thousands of American service people were stationed in West Germany and still are to this day. So it's not even that wild of a coincidence.
Yeah.
So, but still, they play it like that's just like, interesting, go on. But let's tease this out. An auto mechanic from the Denver area, he, on this show, alleged that he saw 2 men in hazmat suits dump nuclear waste in an abandoned mine shaft outside of Silver Plume. Okay. He says that those 2 hazmat guys were from the Rocky Flats Nuclear Power Facility, which is near Denver. So let's pretend that this alleged witness knew what it was, that it was nuclear waste that they were dumping, and also that he knew where the hazmat guys were from, and also
Rocky Flats only had that little bit of nuclear waste they needed to get rid of.
they got to do it in Silver Plume too.
Jeez.
Let's also assume that he's able to follow them at night up this incredibly treacherous landscape as they were in a Jeep. I don't know what he does without being detected. Turn the headlights off. Well, you'll go over a cliff pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's just say that all happened, and we'll just take his word for it. Regardless of whether that's believable or not, Tom Young, he had this alleged background in something nuclear. He got wind of this somehow. He got wind of this illegal dumping.
Well, maybe he witnessed it also.
He may have witnessed it when he's up there. Again, at night, they were doing, at least in this alleged incident of the auto mechanic, who, by the way, could not speak without oxygen.
Jesus.
So Tom, we assume, must have dug into it, looked into it, learned too much, got in too deep, and naturally he then told everyone he was going to Europe, and then he walked his dog into the mountains because that's what you do when you are in fear from your life.
Yeah, and the
Of your
people
life.
from Rocky Flats shot him and his dog.
Yeah, no, they have assassin team. Every nuclear power
Yeah.
plant, I believe, has a team of assassins.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's stupid.
So, I mean, not to say that Big Nuke has never had anybody killed, Karen Silk or Dave Box, but I'm not saying what I'm saying. But, this is a little far-fetched, especially considering it's one source, and the source has no obvious way of knowing any of these things he's saying. But also, what Tom then did doesn't indicate in any way, shape, or form that he was afraid for his life or anything like that. There's no indication from anybody else that he was doing any of these things that he was said to be doing.
But I have to say, I was in the room while you were watching that show.
Oh, really?
And the very dramatic scene of them going into the mine shaft
Oh, yeah,
with
yes.
the Geiger counters.
With the Geiger counter, with the radiation.
Keeping
We'll get to
track
that.
of the radiation.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, actually.
Hilarious.
So in this show, they go into this more of a horizontal mine shaft. So it's more like a long cave kind of a thing. It's not one of those little ones that go straight down. And they have a Geiger counter, and the readings get more and more dangerous. Oh, is it 2,000? And they're literally running for their lives outside of the thing because we're going to die of cancer immediately if we stay in here for a long time. And it's like, okay, so we don't know if nuclear waste was dumped here, but that sure suggests it was. And they even have a little side say, yeah, there is natural radiation in these mountains, but I don't think so. You know what you do? Ask a scientist.
Right.
Is that level beyond the level
Yeah.
of normal natural radiation,
Yeah.
yes or no, in that area? I'm sure you can get an answer, and I'm sure if they did, they didn't bother to mention it on this show because the answer was, yeah, of course it is, you whiny little bitches.
It was hilarious.
It was very funny. It was just, dramatics for the sake of dramatics, but big Nuke had Tom Young killed, or at least Rocky Flats Nuke did, so they then staged a suicide rather than just dump him where they dumped the nuclear waste that has never been found to this day.
Right.
I don't know. I think dumping in where they dump the waste would be a better call, don't you?
No, they wanted his body to be found, and they wanted it to look like a suicide to kind of discredit him, right? He was a kook. He was suicidal.
If they didn't know that he had told anyone else.
him just go missing would bring searchers and stuff, right?
Well, they did search for him, remember?
Yeah. But
About
they
3 weeks later.
didn't necessarily not want him to be found because wasn't he like propped up against a tree or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. But he was,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you agree that this is a real thing, that they didn't
Which I
mind him being
don't,
found.
but I'm saying.
Okay. And they even shot his dog, though, Carrie. His dog. Was the dog know too much? Was the dog going to say
No,
something?
but they also were animal lovers, and they didn't want to leave a defenseless dog on the mountain by itself. That would have been cruel.
You're right.
They have a line.
Big Nuke is well known as being animal
Yeah.
lovers because they've never experimented on animals. I don't know if they have.
I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. So I have no idea. So this story again was on this Travel Channel show called Lost in the Wild. And during this, by the way, there's two co-hosts. One of them is named Kanga, like the mother of Roo in Winnie the Pooh. And they interview the mechanic. Every time he says something, they these cutaways they share this knowing nod with one another. This, oh my God, this guy is like every new reveal of his is just dripping with truth and justice and righteousness. It's honestly it's a revelation. They give these just ridiculous. Like, oh my God, he is speaking some truth to power. Tell it, mechanic with the oxygen tank. They also share these triumphant glances when they spoke with a psychic named Cindy.
Oh, God.
Oh,
About
okay.
what happened to Keith and Tom. And she's discovering these truths. She's also telling them what happened to Keith and Tom by automatic writing, which is where you take a pad and a pencil and you pretend like you're not writing, but you're writing. And we know that because we can see you writing.
Right. But it's not you. You're
It's not-
channeling
yeah,
someone.
Clearly. I'm not in control of this hand right now, obviously. So she says things like, "Oh, I think you guys are looking for two men. Is that right? I'm getting that they disappear, and I think one was found. Was one found? Yeah. But you're interested in the other one, right? You're more interested in the other one." And they give these stunned looks, right? These stunned looks like, oh my God, how can she know this? And she's telling them that they were both dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And these insights are remarkable because they assure the audience that they had not told Cindy what they were looking into, the case that they were looking into. They just told her and brought her to Silver Plume, Colorado. So there's no way she could have Googled that in, 4 minutes and found out the only thing that's ever happened in Silver Plume that is worth anybody investigating. And then literally, she just gave the outlines of the story. Honest to God, it was.
Did she mention the nuclear stuff?
I don't remember if she did or not. I don't remember. But and they like want to talk to them. She goes, "Oh, I can't." She's using like little psychic jargon. No, it's
Yeah.
just, are you, either you really are eating this stuff up, in which case Kanga and the other guy are the guy. I'm sorry.
Kanga was the girl?
Kanga was the girl. The guy was, I don't know, Bob. I don't know his name. And
Eeyore.
it was not Eeyore. No, I believe it's not.
Okay.
Either you are eating this up and you're insanely gullible, or you're just doing this for the show, which
I would go with that.
I know,
one.
but it's kind of sleazy. Again, of course, these are on. It's all those travel Discovery Channel. That's all they do now is do very misleading, poorly researched, or deceitfully portrayed nonsense shows like this. It's just really too bad. I mean, this is a fascinating mystery without bullshit of Cindy the Psychic. Anyway, back to our story. That's our side about Cindy the Psychic and the guy with the oxygen. So Keith started looking into what happened to Tom Young. He found out about the whole nuclear waste dumping thing, the whole scandal there, and obviously Keith then had to be silenced in turn. That's this
How
to
did
finish
he find
this
out
idea.
about it?
He
Maybe
researched.
found journals or something.
He must
where
have. Yeah,
Tom had
he did
written
share the
stuff
same
down.
space.
Yeah.
And the bad guys this time, they had learned something, so they wisely dumped Keith's body in one of those nuclear waste mine shafts for him to never be found again. That's called learning. Really impressed, nuclear waste evil assassins.
Oh, no, because it just brings more suspicion. It makes him more suspicious.
Well, but maybe this time they couldn't make it look. Maybe he tried to run and he shot in the back. Carrie, you're not gonna make that look like a
That's
suicide.
true.
They had to dump his body. So
He could have found a cougar.
he
Fed his body to the
they
cougar.
should have probably done that. Yes,
Yeah.
or not. Or not that. Oh, that's complete bullshit. And Tom Young was a suicide, as it looked. And then Keith's demise stemmed from something really dumb. Either it was a spur of the moment decision that ended in a terrible accidental tragedy, and his body is now, turning to dust at the bottom of a mine shaft, or he also committed suicide, something like that.
Was he on any medication?
Not that I know of. But it does sound like his last hike was it the act of desperation, of a desperate man?
Yeah.
And he just didn't live to tell about it. Did he have some kind of a wild hair? I'm just going to go hike this mountain like that. And I'm not thinking about the consequences. Something like that. Or what was Keith's final foray? All that spur of the moment? Was he seeking inspiration? So back in Keith's rented home in Silver Plume, after he disappeared, they found his computer at his writing desk, right? And he had been writing. Next to the computer was an article about the disappearance of Tom Young, indicating he was still into that. On the computer itself, no doubt in word perfect,
Probably.
rest in peace, was a passage from his unfinished manuscript. It read, quote, Guy Gibson changed into some hiking boots and donned a heavy flannel shirt. He understood it all now, and his motivations. Guy closed the door and then walked off towards the lush, shadowless Colorado forest above. Was he trying to draw inspiration for his character from acting out something his character did? Almost like, he's going to get from real life and then infuse it into his novel. Was he just trying to experience something his character had experienced?
Yeah. And then had an accident.
And had an accident,
Yeah.
exactly. His daughter Tiffany would say, quote, writers like to live the story they're writing about, get a feel of it so it's easier for them to write about it. Maybe my father, it's always possible, wanted to feel what it's like to disappear so he could write about it. Now, that's assuming his character disappeared, which I don't know if he did. I haven't read the unfinished novel, but that's something. I mean, did he want to go up there and almost like want to get lost? And he said, if I'm not back by 10, come find
get
me.
me.
Did he think they're going to find him?
Yeah.
Like, I might get cold. But he didn't realize that it could be seriously cold. Maybe, it's July. It's August, actually.
yeah.
So,
But also, he had never made it to the top of
No,
the mountain, right?
he had
so
not.
I'm sure he wasn't planning on going all the way to the top.
and he
of the
probably did not
mountain.
go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
But he may have gone up there for inspiration or even literally to get lost and feel viscerally what it's like to be lost and be scared. Think at the end of the day, but they'll find me for sure.
Right.
I'll teeth rattle through at night, but they'll find me the next morning, and they never found him.
Yeah.
Good God.
Because he fell or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or did get horrifically lost. But that would explain the seeming stupidity of
Yeah.
him
Of
going
it.
up there how he went up there.
Well, dang it. You saved that for the end. I'm sure that's what happened.
Well, hold on, Carrie. Hold on. I got
There's
another.
more?
It could have been, was it something more nefarious, Carrie? A little bit nefarious here. Here's where your hatred of Keith comes in. Did Keith intend for that passage in his computer to be found and that it would provide some kind of a mystery to his own disappearance.
I like that because that's kind of my plan too.
What the fuck?
What?
I've mentioned it on this podcast.
You're going to you're
gonna
gonna make
disappear?
like the Isdal woman or that Peter Bergman in Ireland.
right
You're gonna,
before I no, just for you guys. But
oh,
right
just
before
for
I'm gonna
okay. Well, thank
die,
you. Well, we're
I'm
gonna talk about it and
gonna
probably
say some weird, mysterious stuff.
Dean's not your father, Emma.
That would not be that shocking.
I know, I wouldn't be.
So, so it's possible he was making a play, kind of becoming like minor league niche famous. That he was going to have, he's going to leave the only lasting memory that he could leave behind. Because again, he was kind of like, I've never done anything kind of a thing, and now he's going to leave a lasting memory. And if so, this was not unlike the Peter Bergman case where in Ireland. Remember that guy?
I do.
In this case, he sought to be so weirdly anonymous. People talked about it and still talk about it.
Wait, so you think he was committing suicide?
I think in this scenario, he's committing suicide. Exactly.
Oh, but that's fucked up to do to your kids.
It is, but it's a way
Clearly
to
is not a
yeah. If
sound
you commit suicide,
person.
I mean, yeah, he's been depressed and he's been down for a while now, right? So it's like Keith Reinhard, the guy who wrote about local sports for a small Chicago newspaper, suddenly becomes Keith Reinhard, the guy who disappeared in the mountains, and the guy that they talk about in podcasts to this day.
And was probably writing the great American novel, right? I mean, this novel
Yeah.
where the last part of it
Oh yeah.
is what happened in real life will be talked about. And
Yes, that's true. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. And that was the mystery. He had all this. That novel. That passage is very mysterious. How he went up there was very mysterious. Everything's so mysterious about it. He was never found again. So maybe he did jump down a mine shaft, knowing that's the best way to not be found again. Remember, he had been hiking up there many times. He knew about those mine shafts.
yeah.
Or one more for you. Did Keith disappear not to leave the world with an aura of mystery, but not to literally leave the world at all? Did he plan on Keith Reinhardt's life ending with a kind of celebrity, right? Only to escape and start anew as someone else. And then 4 days in to his disappearance, which is really his hiding out, a plane crashes, someone dies. He realizes even if he had intended to come back as Keith Reinhardt, that's not a possibility anymore. He would be a monster.
Yeah.
So he disappears into his new life forever as no longer Keith Reinhard.
Which in the late 80s was still somewhat possible.
It's still possible now, but it's
But
much
it's
more
much
possible
harder.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reinhardt was drinking they had a little soiree the night before, and he had been talking to a woman that the other partygoers said they thought she was from Denver, and they thought her name was Greta or Gretchen, something like that, and he'd been talking to her a lot throughout the night. Did he, like Guy Gibson, walk out into the wild yonder only to reappear with Gretchen in Denver? And then, who knows? And there were supposed sightings of Keith later on, by the way, over the ensuing years. None that were ever taken in seriously by investigators, but still there were some sightings. So,
It'd be dumb to just go to Denver.
well,
Yeah.
and
Probably
from
wouldn't go
who knows from
Pittsburgh.
where, yeah. But, from there you go
Yeah.
somewhere else. Oh, Denver's a big city. You can get lost in Denver. But still, did he just meet her that night? We don't know. Did he know her before that? Did they cook up some plot, or was he running away with her to start a new life? Or
went-
even just getting her to help, pick him up on the mountain,
Right.
take him to Denver, he'll take it from there kind of a thing.
He
He's going to
went there
start a new
for
life.
her.
Yeah.
This whole
knows?
time it was for her.
So if you're listening,
Yeah.
Keith, shoot us an email.
Yeah.
Give us a call, ping us, and
won't
we
tell
would love
anyone.
to have you. We won't tell anyone. We'll
We'll just have you on the podcast.
we'll have you on the podcast.
Distort
but you
your voice.
Don't have to say where you're from. Don't even say what your name is right now. Just you'd be about 81 or 82. But that's okay. I'm sure
Yeah.
you listen to podcasts, so please contact us as soon as you can, and we'll get you on the show. So that's those last two are these other kind of, one was to purposely go out there and commit suicide to leave a faint whiff of fame behind you. And the other one is to start a new life. And this is the same thing, to leave the memory of Keith Reinhard as something mysterious and interesting, but you're still alive and
Yeah.
you're living out your days as somewhere else as some other name. Or your body's in the mountain somewhere and we just haven't found it.
Or the town is
Oh, that's
either
right.
enchanted or cursed,
Yes.
and
yes.
they don't age, and they got to get rid of newbies.
I feel like they do age because Ted Parker's been interviewed many, many times about it, and he's aged.
He's part of it, Dean.
He's aged, though.
It's
makeup.
prosthetics.
Oh, he puts on old person makeup. I
Yes.
got it. Okay, I got you. Again, that's also going to be harder to do.
No, he ages.
Oh,
Nobody else does.
nobody else does.
Remember?
Yeah,
Because
sorry,
he's
that's
just a
right.
descendant.
He's the
Yeah.
caretaker.
Yeah.
And they always have to have one caretaker from outside.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. No, I like it. That's a very real possibility, Carrie.
Thank you.
That's a good contribution to the lore of this case.
I
Respect
think it's
that.
probably. I would like it. Well, I wouldn't like it to be, but the one that I like the best is that he wanted to leave a trail of infamy and be known for something. I think,
mean, not infamy,
but
but to be known.
to
a
be
mystery.
known.
Yeah.
It's a purposeful mystery.
I think he, regardless of what happened, he was clearly a very unstable man that was probably going through a very intense mental breakdown.
You have been hating on Keith and your
that's
mother
not a
this
bad.
entire
That's
time.
not a bad thing.
He's not having a breakdown.
Yes, he is.
don't
He
think so.
walked up a mountain
Yeah, that was
with
dumb.
no supplies.
That was dumb.
He was clearly going through something, which
Yes,
is not a bad
for
thing.
sure that, yes.
This is why I urge all men to just go to therapy.
Therapy.
Don't move to a different town away from your wife and kids and kill yourself. Just go to therapy.
I say get a Miata and go to Silver Plume.
No.
But that's me.
I think he was probably going through some intense nervous breakdown the whole time.
Yeah.
He was in Silver Plume. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been saying Silver Plath in my head this whole time.
That's a poet who killed herself
I
by
know,
putting
I
her head
know.
into an oven. Very different.
Man.
So, yeah, what do you think, Carrie?
What was the second to the last one? The one I just said.
Yeah, suicide by by mystery. Mystery suicide. Intentionally to leave a memory.
No.
No.
Okay.
You still go with the ghost or the enchanted?
No.
No. Okay.
I think that he went up there just for some inspiration. Experience in writing
the
his
one
book.
before that. Okay.
And accidentally died.
Yes.
Yes,
That's what
I
I
like that one too. To be honest with you, it
Because there's
explains
nothing nefarious. There's
Yeah.
nothing, it means he wasn't depressed. He wasn't suicidal. He wasn't running away from his life.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying something new. Okay. I'm backing Keith up on this one. And
Mm-hmm. About time.
He wanted to become a writer.
Yeah.
And that's what he was. I mean, he was a writer.
Yeah.
So,
I find
But
that
he
one
wanted
equally as
inspiration.
possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was,
he wanted to be able to.
legitimate.
He wanted to be able to describe Guy
Yeah.
Gibson getting lost, and the panic and the fear and what you did and something like that. And he just fell down a shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. I like it.
Well,
And
I
that-
didn't come up with that one, but I like that one the best.
you didn't.
No,
Who
you
did?
did.
Oh yeah. Well,
You
no,
told
the
us
inspiration, yes, but the ghost, no. I'm not going to take credit for that. That's all you. The enchanted ghost.
I know that.
That's okay. I'm sure you knew that. So, yeah, I like the inspiration one too. And again, the 10 o'clock, the telling Ted Parker come get me.
Yeah.
If I'm not back, that's his fail safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't safe enough.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
do
think
like
there's any connection between him and Tom.
Yeah.
Well, other than
You said he
He-
got obsessed with the case.
he was interested in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, the nuclear thing.
No,
that's
no,
just,
that's ridiculous.
It's literally an auto mechanic in Denver making shit up. And
Years after the fact,
yeah,
right?
and they in this show when they went to talk to him, they literally didn't call him or contact him. They just knock on his door. He's like, "Who are you guys? I'm in a documentary. This is a journalist. Can we talk to you about your theories about Keith Reinhard?" I swear to God, he goes, "Yeah, come in." that's how formal it is. And then they show him kind of, miking up and getting the cameras ready and shit like that. And then he starts, spouting off on his ridiculous. They don't challenge anything. Like, okay, again, hazmat suits. How did you know they're from Rocky Flats? How did you follow them without being noticed? How did you know it was nuclear waste they were dumping? Why aren't you dead?
Well,
Right.
who was
None of
he
it.
telling this story to where they
To
found him?
Bob and Kenga.
No, they didn't just go
Oh,
knocking on some
he's probably
old guy's
talked about
door.
it on the interwebs. I didn't run across his story other than this show, so I don't know. They found
Yeah.
out somehow. I'm sure I didn't read every source on the internet, but they found out that way somehow. I'm sure. Or you know what? They talked to a lot of people at Silver Plume, so maybe they talked to someone there who knew
Said, "Hey,
about
go
it.
to
And
this
there's
guy's
this
house."
crackpot. He
Yeah,
was
this is
claiming yeah.
knucklehead. Yeah, I mean, it was that stuff's nonsense.
Yeah.
The Keith Reinhard, Tom Young. The coincidence is literally that it is a coincidence.
Yeah.
But that's what the word means.
Yes.
Two people who shared the same space 9 months apart. both disappeared.
Yes.
One of which was found, but one of which has not been. That's not, I mean, that's a fascinating coincidence, but
Yeah.
okay, calm down, M. Night. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Has this mystery and story attracted any tourists at all?
Probably.
'Cause I would like to go visit this place.
Okay. We can arrange that.
Yeah.
We're not going to arrange that. On the way to West Virginia to see the
Yes.
Mothman statue,
We can go.
we'll stop by Silver Plume, Colorado.
Nice.
Okay, let's do
Thank
that. We really got to do a world tour
Sure.
of sites.
Who's
at least
gonna
in
pay for it?
North America.
Sponsors.
Patreon.
American
Patreon.
Airlines.
Do
will-
a GoFundMe. So,
Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
wow, Carrie's already
Yeah.
she-
She's
okay.
figuring it out.
These are all the services we're going to use while
Okay.
we're on the IHOPs. We'll eat at IHOPs.
Whoa, can we get?
There's
can we
IHOPs
do a different
everywhere.
one? Are there
Denny's.
Paneras? Panera.
Denny's.
Can we do Panera
No,
at least?
we're not-
There's lots of Paneras. There's Paneras in Colorado. That's where they're from, I think.
We're so fucking bougie.
Come on, man. Panera over IHOP.
Okay, that's
Jesus.
bougie.
Yeah, of course it is.
You're
so,
bougie.
yeah, well, if you've
Panera
seen the
doesn't
shit
have
I ate,
pancakes. What if I want pancakes?
fine. Panera and IHOP.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the Keith Reinhard disappearance. Again, never been found. Still a mystery.
Yeah.
He's probably in a mine shaft somewhere.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Even finding his body in a mine shaft, it still won't explain exactly what happened. It could be
Right.
an inspiration. It
Yep.
could be the accident. It could be the
Yeah.
suicide.
Yeah.
All those things will still be possible.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Dang it, Keith. You should have been more explicit when you told Ted where you were going and
You
what
really
you were
should have.
doing.
Yeah, write some down, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing this for inspiration. I'm on the mountain. Please come find
You
me.
should have. He should have been smart enough to understand. Like this is a risky thing I'm doing.
Yes.
There is a slight chance I don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably send a letter to my wife and kids, or leave
Yep.
a note in my shop or home or whatever it may be.
He was trusting Ted. So basically, it's your fault, Ted. Just kidding, Ted.
Jesus.
Not at all. Okay, that's Keith Reinhard. Carrie, tell the
Yeah.
folks. That's the end of part 2, by the way. Tell the folks. where they
Weird
can
World
find
Podcast on or at gmail.com, on the internet, at Facebook, and
fuck?
Instagram, and Patreon.
Okay.
And even Weird World Pod on Twitter.
Yes, I'm tweeting a little bit more now.
You are.
So
Good
there.
for you, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yep.
proud of you.
Proud of myself.
Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.